Hey guys, and welcome to the Fish Room. I'm Rachel O'Leary, and in last week's video, which was a review of the big boys and how I feed my large predatory fish, a few people in the comments asked for an updated fish room tour. So I thought today we would do a quick and dirty look around the fish room and talk about what's going to be upcoming soon, as well as what goes into maintaining all of this. Now, if you're new here, I do a series each year where I move fish out into my yard in order to breed them in water gardens, mini ponds, summer tubs, whatever you want to call it. If any of you have decided to do that, please tag me and let me know, especially on Instagram, and I'll be happy to share that with my followers. Also, the Scaping from Scraps Challenge, if you still want to do it, just let me know if you make a video and I'll be sure to add it to that playlist. So without further ado, let's look around the fish room and sort of talk about what's going on down here. Captain Cranky Pants is doing what Captain Cranky Pants does. He's doing quite well despite his old age, as you can see. Above him, we have the head and tail light tetras, a bunch of ancestris, a bunch of high pancistris, and my crebensis pair, which look bonkers good. They haven't set up shop, and I'm not really encouraging them to do so, as I don't really want to raise the fry right now. Above them, we have the purple oil cat tank. You don't see them except for at feeding time. Next to them, we have my Scaping from Scraps tank with the rosy loaches and the pseudomugil rainbows. This tank is doing really, really well. I actually quite like it. It's grown on me quite a bit. Next to them, we have the two pair of wild betta mahachiensis, which have bred. I'll do a video about that at some point. Below them, we have my honeycomb cats and Coreodorus pygmaeus. This tank has really filled out with plants. No spawning yet, but eventually. Below them, we have my sand tank with the pygmy cories, the SP rasboras, or I'm sorry, with the panda cories, the SP rasboras, the splash tetras, and the emperor tetras. Next to them, we have the tank of rainbow and flagfin shiners, which are really putting on size, and I'll probably be doing a species spotlight on these flagfin shiners, the silver ones with the yellow tails, probably within a few weeks. So if you're interested in learning more about natives, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that. Above them, we have the super reds and the phoenix tetras. There's a brand new spawn, as you can see, of the super reds. These guys never stop. Above them, we have the algae scape, which has the chili rasboras and the wild betta imbalis. The bettas have been more and more outgoing lately, so I'm pretty stoked about that, but you can see this tank has gotten a fair amount of duckweed, so I need to get hot on removing that. Next to them is the black darter tetra tank. Those guys are starting to age out, so I'm going to do something new with this aquarium soon. There's the one where I pulled all that guppy grass from. Below them are the ginga rubras. I moved the rice fish outside. We'll take a closer look here in a second. Below the ginga rubra is the miracle goldfish. You can see they're really outgoing and have put on quite a bit of size. This is, of course, my goldfish community that houses Odessa barbs, clown barbs, and then the two goldfish that showed up as eggs last year on plants. A lot of people have been asking me if I'm going to move them outside, and I'm not, simply because this is a 75-gallon, and most of my tubs are 60-gallon, and it seems counterintuitive to move them out into a smaller volume. They've really been doing well inside and putting on good size. Long term, I would like to have a pond for them, but so far that hasn't happened. And of course, we have the penjang, which I need to, again, remove a bunch of cyanobacteria, but it's pretty stable, and you can see We're starting to get some really neat growth finally. So it's less of a disaster than it used to be. Opposite the main wall of tanks, of course, we have my 75-gallon South American community of Nano fish. Everybody's doing really well there. To the right of that, we have my paludarium, just sort of on hold for now. Each day I have to come and mist it. To saturate the coconut coir on the back wall so that the plants that I'm trying to root there will continue to do well. Things are growing in nicely. I just, big thanks to Josh's Frogs again for the plants in here. I just sort of have to wait for things to open up enough for me to be able to have the Nick Kinzer out again to work on it. And of course above them, the 150-gallon hill stream. Before too long, I'm going to be moving the rest of the rainbow shiners in here. This tank is killing it as always. It gives me great joy and it's one of my favorites. And if you like seeing updates on all these tanks, make sure you're again following me on Instagram. I post constantly there. Of course, I showed you the big boys this past week. Everybody's doing really well in there also. Kept this little Nano for now, but I'm still thinking about taking it down. But you can see I have one of Studio Aquatica's substrate balls in the top there. I'm growing a bunch of plants out of it and I'm really enjoying that, so it'll continue to live for a bit yet. And then we'll take a look at this wall of tanks. Now over here there's a fair amount of empty tanks because again I moved a lot of fish outside, but we have some killies in here. Then we have a metric ton of white cloud and Corydoras aeneas fry, least killies, the Soelia, which I'll give you a close-up of those guys because they're doing really well. Just going gangbusters. They've spawned like 4 times, and I know a lot of you have been asking me when I'm going to ship again. While things are in the green here and have opened up, there's still a lot of service delays with FedEx. So I'm not in a hurry to risk critters. Blue shrimp in there, flagfish, this one is empty. Have yellow shrimp on the right, some endlers and high pancistrus in here. In here, my Phyllictes tycha, or the dwarf Mary Widow live bear, as well as my Azaline spixie snails. So I will be doing a species spotlight on these guys, probably to come out Sunday, so stay tuned for that. Then we have more wild N-class endlers and more high pancistrus. This tank just has some assassin snails, cherry shrimp. The old metaframe is also cherry shrimp. And on bottom row, we have Shelleys and Synodontis. They're breeding. We have red brillie and wild tigers, more flagfish. The overflow of the wild betta mahachaensis. As you can see, I have quite a few. More Shelleys, which again, they have fry in there, which I showed on my Instagram, I think last week. That pair in the front have fry. This one has 2 pair in it. Extra of my white clouds. These are the ones that I've line bred to have yellow fins. And then an ancestris tank. Then we have my extra ember tetras and Danio chopre or glow light Danios. I'm thinking about moving some of the embers into the 75-gallon Nano. Let me know down in the comments your opinion about that. As far as the chopre, I don't know, maybe when I redo the black darter tank, I'll gear it around them because they're really cool fish. So again, everything's doing just fine down here. Pretty soon we'll be addressing this tank and this tank. Yeah, and I think I might try and do a fish order sometime soon to get in some new species. I'll have to see. If you guys have any suggestions of fish you'd like to see me work with so that I can do species spotlights, let me know down in the comments. As always, I hope everyone is staying safe, staying healthy, and enjoying their summer.